When man chiselled flint to make his first plough and domesticated his animals, it was the beginning of civilization as we know it today. They lived in round buildings, as did their animals. The march of time largely did away with round buildings, as first timber buildings, then quarried stone and bricks, lent themselves more to the rectangle shape. Aside from some notable exceptions, the shape of buildings has remained unchanged for centuries, and the story is no different for the humble farm livestock building. That was until Jeff Simpson, a farmer's son and managing director of Simpson & Allinson, building fabricators in Barnard Castle, Durham, started pondering on what the ideal shape of a livestock building would be from an animal's point of view, rather than a builder's or a farmer's. He drew a simple circle on his page, divided it like sections of a cake, and instinctively knew that the time of the round livestock building had come again. Jeff and his business partner John Allinson worked together on the Roundhouse design, and in 2003 a prototype was built on a farm in County Durham. It was decided that it would be better if the roof was made from a single sheet of fabric instead of 8 separate sections as originally designed. A global trawl of suitable materials identified a near-perfect fabric in Finland, which is technically known as high-tensile PVC-coated polyester fabric. This has incredibly high strength and durability, with the manufacturer proving its longevity through a tent structure, which was made from the same material in 1983 and which is still going strong. This convinced Jeff and John that this fabric would provide a necessary lifespan for a livestock building. Following the construction of the first few Mark I buildings, it didn't take long before the best of Britain's weather started to batter them. As with the prototypes, the buildings stood up to the challenge of strong winds and heavy snow without a single problem at all. And here's one now. I'm here with Jeff Simpson, who designed the Roundhouse. Jeff, what are the main advantages of a round building?
Well, there are lots of advantages. The biggest advantage is the cattle handling system. Very easy for one man to use the system on his own. The airflow in the building behaves like a chimney with the air going out through the centre, so the atmosphere inside is very, very healthy.
And just how easy is it to look after cattle in the Roundhouse?
The cattle are very easy to manage in a Roundhouse. Firstly, the feeding system is all on the outside of the building, so there are no gates to open, no cattle to come into contact with. When you get inside the building, there are man escapes, so there are no gates to open, so the cattle can't escape. And then when you're bedding the cattle up, there are again different systems. Some people would just drop a round bale in and roll it out. Others would drop the bale in, leave it for the cattle to shake about. Several people use straw blowers, some use straw shredders. Typically it takes between 20 and 30 minutes to feed and bed 150 animals in a Roundhouse. When it comes to mucking out the Roundhouse, it's a lot easier than people think. Firstly, you would move all the cattle into the crowd pen. The crowd pen is designed to hold a full pen of cattle, and if you wished, you could put another pen into the holding pen beside the loading dock. So effectively two pens become empty very easily. And then it's a simple matter of opening the gates and mucking out as you would do conventionally.
Tell me a bit more about the benefits of the cattle handling system.
Well, one of the obvious benefits of the Roundhouse is the cattle management system. The crowd pen in the centre of the building is an obvious point from which the animals can come from their pens into the centre, be taken through the crowd pen where the operative is behind the crowd gate, so he's safe, and the curved design of the cattle race takes the animals naturally into the crush.
The cattle here look very quiet and content. Do you think that's down to the building?
Undoubtedly. The round building replicates the cattle's natural herding instincts. So because they're not top of the predatory chain, some of the animals need to look out, some need to look in. It's their visual communication. The roundhouse allows them to do that very easily. They can see who's in the next pen, they can see the hierarchy in the next pen, so they feel secure.
And is that a benefit compared to a conventional building?
Yes, conventional sheds that are rectangular, there's always corners where animals can hide. They can't see past the next pen down the length of the building. So the round building certainly is superior for that.
And when you first got the cattle into the roundhouse, how did they react?
Oh, amazing. They were completely calm. I'd not experienced that before. So the round building, I didn't understand it straight away, and it took quite a while before we actually understood why the animals behaved like that. And it is down to their natural communication, their visual communication, and their herding behaviours.
And what have farmers said to you about the building?
The farmers that have roundhouses have been so complimentary. That there hasn't been any bad comments at all. Vet bills have been reduced, cattle are finishing quicker. It's been good news right the way through.
My name's Jamie Wood. We farm a Prendick farm, which is in Northumberland at the foothills of the Cheviot Hills. We farm just under 300 head of Limousin Cross Frisian cows with the Angus bull. Offspring are spayed at around 9 months old, which is what we're doing. We're putting them into this roundhouse and selling them on as stores at about 15 to 20 months old. I look after all the cattle myself throughout the whole of the winter here, and it's quite a task by yourself. With the roundhouse, I can bed all these cattle, feed them within half an hour. All the work I can do by myself. Each pen I can do 18 at a time, 20 at a time, which cuts my time down, makes life easier for myself, and labour costs are down considerably. The cattle don't seem to be stressed. Since we've brought these cattle in, we've had changeable weather. Throughout November it's been 17 degrees down to -2 at night, and the cattle have been perfectly well. The bedding lasts a lot longer. We bed them 3 times a week, just like we would with any other shed. But the beauty of this shed is we can just bed to what they need to be done. As you can see, it's very airy. The air's blowing through. It doesn't overheat inside, and the sweating of the calves is not as it would be to a normal shed. The cattle handling is a very easy and basic way. We basically open the gate, let the cattle through, shut the gate behind them, as you would if you wanted to muck out each cubicle. Once they're in the race, there's a 360 degree gate which comes round behind them and pushes them down the race. They then go into a separate pen and back into the centre bit and back into their cubicle. The roundhouse is a very cost-effective way of looking after stock. We've cut down in labour costs, we've cut down in veterinary bills. The roundhouse is a fantastic way of looking after cattle.
What other animals would be happy living in the roundhouse?
Any animal would be happy living in the roundhouse. This is a livestock building, so in terms of agricultural animals, then you could have sheep, pigs, dairy cows, suckler cows. We've even got a roundhouse with deer in.
And it's not only livestock who are impressed with the roundhouse. It's now won a clutch of different awards, including the Country Landowners Association Rural Buildings Award for Best New Building in England and Wales in 2007. It's also won a silver medal for innovation at the 2008 Royal Highland Show, 2 awards from the Green Organisation for the building's positive environmental impact, and the Institute of Agricultural Engineers Ivell Award for the product or innovation with the most positive impact on the environment at the 2010 Lammer Show. The roundhouse is a revolution in animal management. Round buildings may date back thousands of years, But this roundhouse is the future.